masculinity that I really feel is happening, because we are softening up our men. And I've been shaving around this ridiculous mustache for like 8 years, so it's a good time to have this conversation.
Good stuff. Well, stay with us.
Absolutely.
Fabulous to have you here. Thank you very much. Because after the break, two men I think you're going to want to meet. The ex-convict turned filmmaker who's trying to get young offenders to put down their guns and pick up a camera. We'll see you and them after the ads. Welcome back. Documentary maker Morgan Spurlock is still with me this morning. I'm delighted to stay. And still to come, we sent Shauna Lowry to meet a little girl who's been deaf since birth, whose life has been transformed since she was given a hearing dog. Then the Made in Chelsea set are back. Ollie, Cheska and new cast member Richard are here with a new series, so expect more unrequited love, arguments and bed-hopping stories. And in the final part of the show, our home expert Alison Cork will show you how to pimp up your Easter eggs. There she is, sugared flowers and mini marshmallows at the ready. A few more of your worst jobs. Michael in Manchester says, I worked as a runner in my early 20s, and one day I had to fish out fag butts from all the sand in the smokers area for an item on the show. It was disgusting. He doesn't say which show. Chloe from Peterborough says, I once got a job singing English songs down the phone to Japanese children. That sounds good. Now, my next guests really are fascinating. Dean Stalham is a reformed criminal. His life was turned around and he became an award-winning artist and writer. In 2009, he started a charity to help vulnerable young people find their voices as writers, artists and filmmakers. And one of those, former gang member Hassan Craftz Kamara, is with us today. So please welcome to Dean and Hassan. And Morgan stayed with us as well. Well, you know, Morgan is a filmmaker, and, you know, how you get into that industry is tough anyway, but you made it even tougher for yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Let's go back to when life started to kind of fall off the straight and narrow.
It started really early, actually. I mean, my mum's family really poor. I mean, you know, they used to share a boiled egg. I mean, literally, butter once a week. But what they had a lot of wealth in was loyalty and companionship and fun, but in that kind of environment you lose sense of responsibility and stuff like that. So I just drifted in. I left school at 15, no qualifications. And
your dad said to you that you were going to have a job with an uncle.
Yeah, with Uncle Eddie. Yeah, it turned out to be a heroin dealer. Yeah, so I was a lookout for him at 15, but earning 170 quid a week, and all sensibility goes out the window, really, and I just drifted on and on. Then
into all kinds of different...
All kinds of different avenues, yeah. I mean, I was an antique dealer and this and that.
But it was always a front.
Mostly a front, yeah.
And you had a kind of, you know, a very glitzy life at one point, didn't you? You know, the big houses. And
I was married to a page-free girl, and yeah, I had a really good life. It seemed good at the time, but it's but it was thinking back now, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was based on all lies and deceit, really, and you know. It doesn't lead anywhere. You get a lot of money, then you spend it as quick as you can, and you know you always think there's going to go.
Was it always fraud? Did you ever hurt anybody, or did that ever was that part of what you were doing?
Well, I mean, it's that world can get violent. You know, it's part. If you're in that world, you tend to think that you're in the business, and it's always there. There's always a threat of violence from anywhere. Someone might want to take something from you, or you have to protect what you've got, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, there was some kind of violence going on, but it was.
You did a course while was it Ford prison you were in when you did the course? When you wrote the play, the first play that you wrote?
No, I was in Ford in '94, and it was in my second sentence that art really entered into my life, and it all changed from there. Yeah.
And the play was performed while you were in prison.
Yeah. Someone from the Royal Court Theatre come in and held a course, which I went on. And
why did you go on the course? What made you decide that was for you?
It was a massive decision, because the paper goes up on the wall to put your name down, and you're all scared that you're going to be the first one up. And you're worried what everyone else is going to think, so it's peer pressure in there, even, you know. And then one by one the names go up, and then you go into the room, and I mean that was funny in itself. When the writer come in, he was really nervous because he was first time in the prison for himself, and we're doing about 60 years between us. And he said, "Do you guys get out to see plays?" We're like, "No."
Good opening question.
Yeah, do you read any? No. You know, and so it got off to a good start, and then it just started to flow. You know, I think I've always been creative, but I used to use it in the wrong way, channel it the wrong way.
Yeah, and then eventually when you got out, it wasn't, you know, you didn't just walk into a job becoming, you know, somebody who works in the arts, or, you know, you had to then start again, didn't you, in a way? I mean, you know, I called a meeting. I got my family in the week before release and said, you know, I'm
I'm going to become a writer. I'm going to be an artist and a writer when I get out. I've got a good body of work now, and I'm going to hit the floor running. And then, of course, rejection letter after rejection letter for plays and stuff, and that's when it starts. The realisation that the art world's really hard.
Let's have a quick look at what we've got. One of your paintings here. Let's have a little look, and
there you go.
Very.
Yeah, I mean that's 6 feet square. I mean that's 6 by 6 feet. It's a big piece.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of Basquiat, you know.
Maxime Basquiat.
Little Jean-Michel happening.
Yeah, a little bit going on there. Yeah,
Inspired by?
Well, it's the girl in the middle is my wife. She died when she was 35 from alcohol-related stuff, and so it's about that really, about the spiral from bottom left round to the bottom right. It's got everything in it if you have a close look, you know. So.
And also, you made a short film, Geronimo.
Yeah, for Channel 4 last year. Yeah. I had no intention of getting into films. I was concentrating on the theatre, and just got a call, saying, we've seen one of your plays, God Don't Live on a Council Estate, with Dudley Sutton.
Do you have a little look at a clip?
From Geronimo, yeah.
How much, Barry?
What?
How much? I said.
20.
20 grand. 2 words, extended credit.
It's good business practice. You're not blaming me for this, are you?
You should have read the signs and seen it coming. I would have driven right through his big iron gates if I'd have known it owed us that much.
Father and son, and they go into business and then lose it all.
Yeah. It's pretty much biographical, really. I mean, my dad had me when he was 18. There was a lot of vanity rivalry going on and stuff. So even now, it's pretty much a strange relationship. We get on great, but it's more matey than anything else. Yeah.
So how did you two meet then? How did you two come into contact?
Well, Art Saves Lives is a company that I run, and we extend a hand to help people find their creative street.
How do you find the people to help, and how did you find Hassan?
What we do is we keep it very simple. We do a lot of word of mouth stuff and text and Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. But we don't, we haven't got glossy prospectuses and stuff like that. We just word of mouth.
Let's hear a little bit about your story then, Hassan. Before you came into contact with Art Saves Lives, what was life like for you?
Well, when I was young, I was growing up in Shepherd's Bush, West London, and my dad died when I was young. I was going to school. I went to quite a good school, but I didn't really have like a male role model at home to keep me based, you know what I mean? And I just ended up hanging around with my friends, and we were just doing petty crime. We're little kids on that estate, nothing to do, doing petty crime. The BBC was right next to us. They weren't really helping, and they didn't do anything for our community. So we just ended up running around crazy, and it led to me going to prison for like violent disorder and conspiracy of GBH. And that's why I met a woman called Deirdre, who we made a film together like while I was in prison.
Right.
And I made a film with like three other prisoners. And then when I came out, I linked up with her again, and then she introduced me to Dean. And then from there...
So did you have a flair for it then? Did you find that you had there was something inside you wanted to express yourself in that way? Had you ever thought about filmmaking or writing before?
Never. Before I went to prison, I was more into business. And then one day, a prison officer was like, "Oh, we're running a film course. If you want, you can come on." And I thought, all right, cool. I went, and I just found out that like camera angles can make people think in certain ways and lighting. And I thought, this is interesting. Took it from there.
Let's have a little look at the short film that you made called Bare Inequality, about inequality in London. And coincidentally, it was made just before the riots last year, wasn't it?
And with my friend Prince Shaka Owasi.
Okay, let's have a look. So this was very much you going out and asking the questions, was it, behind the camera?
Yeah, like basically we were just sitting down and we were thinking, what should we make a film about? And we realised that in our areas there seems to be a lot of young single baby mothers, and then in other areas like baby mums, well, you wouldn't even have baby mums, you have a family like from 30. And then we thought, well, let's go to Peckham, let's go to Brixton and ask the single mums why they're single and 16. And then let's go to other areas, like the middle class areas, and find out like how come you don't have babies when you're 30. And that's what on our
what did you come up with?
That there's inequality in the society, and education, not everyone's fully educated, and bad education leads to bad decisions.
And then when the riots happened not long after that, you presumably weren't so surprised that there were a lot of people who were disenchanted and felt disenfranchised from society.
Yeah, like the guy in my documentary said, it was like an outcry from the people. Like when people aren't happy, like stuff happen, like things don't work out.
But you've realised, though, Hassan, that you have to take responsibility for yourself as well.
Yeah.
You know, you've done that by making really positive change away from the life that you were living.
Yeah.
So why do you think some people don't go the way that you've gone and make those positive decisions? Why do other people stay on that path where they look up to people who are making bad choices?
Because it seems easier. Like when you're young, you've got to get your was it your GSA number or something like that, or you know that number you get.
National insurance number.
NI number, sorry, yeah. You get an NI number, and then you got to go make a CV, then you got to go to the shops, you got to have an interview. By the time you've got your GSA number, or you got NI number, sorry, you're thinking, this is long. You can just go down the road, see whoever, get whatever, and sell it. And then that is a lot easier. And if there's no one there to say, wait, you know, if you sell those drugs and you get caught, then you're going to go to prison for like maybe 2 years or something. Like that's going to be a lot longer than just filling out some forms and doing an interview.
Morgan, what do you think about this project? And
I think it's amazing. You know, we've shot in prisons quite a bit, you know, back in the States, and one of the things that I think happens with prisoners is you become incredibly kind of desensitized, dehumanized. You kind of lose this whole sense of self, and what programs like this do is they really do give you a tremendous amount of confidence and help you really understand who you are. I mean, I think just letting somebody who's in that situation express an individuality and letting them, you know, kind of fight against the system in a way that is creative it's empowering. And and look what it's done. I mean, it can really change people's lives and give them a path that they normally wouldn't have.
Because, you know, almost daily, you know, you hear about some initiative that the government is, you know, and it doesn't matter what political party, you know, they want, there's a genuine will there to want people, because, listen, if you pay tax, you're worth more to them. If you're not paying, you know what I mean? So they want people to work, they want people to get out of their situation. So, you know, if you were sitting in power, you're sitting at Downing Street now, what would you do to make a difference?
The thing is that you can't find middle-class solutions to working-class problems. And they just scratch the surface. They don't actually get down to street level and see what it's really about. You know, like Art Saves Lives, we just go straight in. We do what we say.
It's very hard, isn't it, though, for a body coming from government to do that?
No,
it almost has to come from
absolutely.
But
they need to open the lines of communication. I mean, there's an art in that itself. I mean, the dialogue's got to be fresh and it's got to be to the point. It's not, you know, it's like I said about, you know, Art Saves Lives. We're running the film course at Goldsmiths. It starts on April 11th. It's like Art Saves Lives are running the film course. This is when it starts. This is what you can do. This is what we're going to do for you. It's nice and simple. You know, if one of these young people ring up a college, you know, interested in making films, administration office will send you a prospectus. And then Latin comes into it.
But you know, Morgan, you were rejected 5 times from the University of Southern California's film program.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've experienced rejection. What advice would you have for Hassan?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is, you know, this is a tough business. He's already starting to experience at an early age, much earlier than I even did. You know, it takes a lot of work, and so, you know, Hassan's already got a film under his belt. He's got more coming. So, I mean, I think the beautiful thing is he's already got a vision of where he wants to be. So the biggest thing is don't give up.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, keep going.
I've got some friends as well, and we've got a company. It's like because I'm at uni, and my classmates, we've made a company. It's called CDP Media. That's with Joy Williams, Akeem Henry, Sam Mickey, and Dejon Chapman.
Okay, nice free advert. Nice free advert. Yeah.
I got my hustle hat on.
Well, good luck. Best of luck with all of that, and well done you for making the right choice. And you know, earlier in your life than you did, Dean, as well.
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah.
But your experience, I think, is going to lead to some pretty interesting artwork.
Absolutely, thank you.
A man who's actually had a Warhol and a Dali in his possession as well.
One thing, Gabby. One thing. Yeah. If I was in power, yeah, all those guys who did the expensive scandal, I would get them arrested. I'd arrest David Cameron. I would arrest everyone.
Okay, all right. After the break, Shannon Lowry meets a little girl who was born deaf but whose life has been transformed since getting a hearing dog. Plus, Ollie Cheska and Newcastle member Richard from Made in Chelsea are here with more tales of expensive holidays and glitzy parties. I'll see you shortly.